Vampire Mommy. What's going on, everybody? What's cracking? Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a wonderful New Year. I can tell you my New Year was on the boring side, but I definitely had a magical first day of the year. Definitely had a good day. Totally made it worth it. Totally ready to do this. What's going on? So yeah, man, we are just sitting here. Oh, I see our guest. He just popped on. I'm going to add the brother on. All right. Buckeye City, what's up, baby? Jason, what's up?
What's up, man?
What is going on, man? Look at this brother right here. What the? Rolling nice.
What's going on, man?
Man, nothing much, man. The last time I saw you was in Chicago, brother. That was not looking like that.
Nah, yeah, it's the winter time, bro. I go hard in the winter time.
I can see that. So we'll give it a couple minutes, man. We'll let some people hop on. What's up, Nation of Souls? What's going on? Right, Freeway in the house. Oh, man.
Who was that, Kev?
Yeah, that was Kev. Somebody just said No Shave November's over.
It's no shave all winter for me.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, what's the weather out like there right now?
Man, it's cold in San Antonio, man. It's cold throughout the whole nation, though. Yeah, it's cold throughout the whole nation, like Arctic front or something like that. So, I mean, we even got hit with it. I was looking at my Facebook memories earlier today, and it was funny because it was like sunny outside last year. I think I was barbecuing or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, out here in Vegas, it's cold, but like I can still put on a hoodie and some pants and take a walk at 9 o'clock at night and not die.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for me during the day, I'm the fool that will walk around in a hoodie with a pair of shorts because I want to make sure everybody sees my kicks. You know what I'm saying?
No, man. Nah, Kev said like 165. Nah, it's I think the high was 40 today. Yeah, I think the high was 40 today, so.
Damn, homie, that is cold.
Yeah.
That is...
And the sun is already down now, so it's about like 30 out there right now.
Yeah, no, I bet. Cold as a witch's tit in upstate New York. Yeah, I bet. Well, you know what? I think we got enough cats. Let's start the show. What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Brandon Rogers. This is Talk Sneaks right here. We got a special guest. We got the main man, the homie, Jason, Sneakerhead Clothing Line. Say what's up to everybody.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Rep Milwaukee 414. I'm the CEO, owner of Sneakerheads Clothing Line. And let's do it.
Let's do this, man. So, hey, listen, let me just start off. Let me start this off. You were one of the few people that as soon as I started this, you hit me up and said, man, I want to come on. I want to do this with you. And I got to be honest, that I appreciated that so much because that means that I'm doing something that you think is cool. And that means a lot. That means I'm not the only one that thinks it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I mean,
so
from the jump. I mean, since we met in, like you said, Chicago, well, we were face to face in Chicago,
right.
It's if you're going to do something, most definitely, and it's positive, I rock with you from the jump. So
I appreciate
you doing the show. You doing the show. Let me get on the show, with you. And we do the normal, talk our talk. And so I'm just going to rock it out.
Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate it. So let's start this off right, man. Let's start this off. Like, what got you into sneakers just as a fan? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did it for you?
For me, what jumped me off of sneakers is I mean, I've been into sneakers since I was 10 years old, really. And man, you know, just wanting to be a cool kid, you know, or and try to be with the in crowd and whatnot. Because growing up as a kid, you know, I mean, you know how tall I am. You know, I'm 6'7". Obviously, I was 6'7" and 10, but I was always taller than everybody else, you know, and my peers. So I always get the, you know, everybody looks at you and stuff like that or whatever. So I got into sneakers because the older kids and the people that were older than me, they always had on fly kicks and the girls liked them. And, you know, even the guys was like, oh, you know, he got the new so-and-sos or whatever. So I just knew in my mind, like, well, if everybody's looking at people's sneakers or they're into this, people were into more into sneakers than they were even into clothes. I mean, people were into clothes, but, you know, the first thing, you know, that was the attention grabber was, oh, he got on the new so-and-so. So I was like, man, I gotta work on my sneakers, or, you know, like always keep a fresh pair of sneakers. And that's what older guys always told me, is if you want to stay cool and blah, 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 whatever like that, you always want to keep a fresh pair of so-and-sos on. So the first sneaker for me was the white on white, the cocaine white Air Force One lows. So yes, sir. For me, growing up as a kid, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay. The number one sneaker, you know, in Milwaukee is the Air Force One. I mean, that's going back, you know, from the golden ages, you know, from the 80s all the way up still till now. The number one selling sneaker in Milwaukee is the Air Force One, even over Jordans. So you can come out with any colorway in a pair of Air Force Ones and they will sell out. You know, really? Jordans will sell out too, but yeah. You pull out a pair of white with a red swoosh or just whatever, man, people will be in the store snatching them up. We'll be in the store snatching them up. So that's what jumped me off back in the 80s was the Air Force One. And then my first Jordan, you know, was the black and red 4s. So that's what jumped me off into Jordans.
Ooh, what?
And then, I ain't never looked back since. And I was even into sneakers, like collecting sneakers, like before people was really collecting sneakers. Like the only real person that I grew up to, and this is obviously before internet, you know, whatever, or social media, obviously. The only person that you was able to look up to was a Jumpman Bostic. That was it. So even collecting sneakers. Sneakers wasn't in collecting sneakers, but it was in to have whatever that was new. So I started out with the Bred 4s and just getting into other sneakers besides Bred 4s, because even in Milwaukee, like the end thing to be is like you don't want to look like everybody else. Because growing up in school, like high school, whatnot, everybody always wore the same outfits. Not literally like one outfit, but like if something brand new came out and you'd be like, oh, I'm about to go kill him at school tomorrow. And then you go to school tomorrow and you would think it was twin day because everybody bought the same outfit. Right? So
I remember that.
Back in the day in the 90s, in high school, you know, one cool, you know, like one in spot, that was a cool spot was like Eddie Bauer. Eddie Bauer was in Milwaukee was in. I don't know about everybody else, but Eddie Bauer was in. So you go to Eddie Bauer and be like, oh yeah, we got these new shirts. You will buy the new shirt and some jeans or whatever like that. And then you go to school thinking you about to kill them. And then everybody else got your same outfit on. So you think it was twin day and be like, man, I knew somebody was going to have my outfit on. So that was like a crazy. So for me, I was always into, I don't want to look like everybody else, but at the same time, you know, I'm 6'6", 6'7" in high school. So it's not really easy for me to cop, you know, outfits like that. So I was always into trying to look different than everybody else, but at the same time, you know, rock what I like, but still be in. So I was always into like besides Jordans, I was into always whatever Air Force Ones came out, different colorways. I was into I remember when the Converse Grandmamas came out. I had those. I had those. I had to have those. And what's funny is I actually bought the Grandmamas before I bought the new Jordans that had came out at the time. And if I remember right, it was the metallic fives, the black metallic fives had came out, and the Grandmamas came out on the same week, because back then Jordans used to come out on Tuesdays, and then whatever else came out, whatever. But that same week the Grandmamas had came out, and I was a huge fanatic of Larry Johnson, which obviously you live in Vegas, but
yes,
I was a huge fanatic for Larry Johnson. And I bought the Grandmamas before I bought the Jordans, because I knew everybody else would have the Jordans on at school. And back then, people would skip school to go buy the Jordans and then go to school, or they wouldn't go to school and they would go to the mall and buy the Jordans first and then put them on their feet and then go to school. So
absolutely.
So I actually bought the Grandmamas first before I bought the Jordans, and nobody had them on. And they were Converse, so Converse wasn't really in like that no more at that time. In the 90s, they were pretty much dead. So at that time, like, Larry Johnson brought them back a little bit, but not really. So I did that as something different. Back then, I was into Converse, and not Converse, but K-Swiss.
Jerry Tarkanian. Sorry, I had to shout out that question because somebody said name the coach. It's Jerry Tarkanian. Sorry about that. Go ahead. My bad.
That's easy. So I was into K-Swiss. I was into Adidas a little bit with the shell toes. I was into Reeboks. Reeboks was heavy in the late 90s. That's when they started implementing like different hip hop, into their campaigns or whatnot. So like the DMX and different things like that. So I was really into that type of stuff. But my main sneaker for me is the Air Force One. The Air Jordan 1 is my favorite silhouette.
Okay.
And then it's really those two that I really go hard for, is the Air Force One and the Air Jordan 1. And really nowadays, I'm really into just Jordans. I don't even really get into any other sneakers like that. I tried getting into the Adidas, wave or whatever, but it's just, I can't do it. I can't do it. So
you can't do the boost, huh?
Nah, I got a pair of 750s. And it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me. So
that's cool. Well, and that's funny. You were talking about, out here in Vegas, we had a store called J. Crew. And J. Crew always had the flyest gear, and they always had the flyest outfits in the window. And you knew that if that stuff came out on the weekend, and if you bought the outfit in the window, if you wore that to school on Monday, 3 people were definitely going to have the same shirt and jeans. It didn't matter. And so that's kind of where the sneakers are what changed you and kind of made you look different, so you weren't a twin or a copy. But that kind of brings me back into, it seemed like you had the idea of being different and wanting to be original all the way back then. Did that kind of transition to the laces and like, how did you get into making your own brand and being, from what I've heard, the LACESWAP God? That's what I've heard. LACESWAP God is how you are identified. How did all that kind of transition? Because it seems like you had that idea way back in high school.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how it really comes from being a product in my environment. Like I said, coming from Milwaukee, and I always wanted to be different because everybody always wants to be different. So it goes back to, it really started off in college. Like, basically all my life, I don't say all my life, but basically going back from high school and even into college, I worked for Champs, and I worked for Foot Action. And obviously, like Champs, Foot Locker, Lady Foot, they all are owned together. So I worked at Foot Locker and I worked at Champs. And then also my first sneaker job was actually foot action. So, but throughout the end of high school and all through college, I worked both of them actually. Where I was working at Champs and I was working at foot action. So, wow. And I was outside of basketball. So when basketball season was not in, then I was working. And then, but then when it was in, and so I'm talking about during college, when I was home in the summers, I was working. But when I went back to college, I wasn't working. I mean, you can't work basically when you're a basketball player. So anyway, when I graduated, I played ball overseas, and then I came home. And then when I came home, man, you know, I was like, what am I gonna do? Blah blah blah, whatnot. My son's mother, she had him, so I stayed home. And then I was like, you know, what am I going to do? And then my college roommate, which was one of my teammates, we always talked about doing something together, you know, as far as like opening like a sneaker spot or something. And then my cousin, I was living in Indiana. And then my cousin, he actually played for the Colts, Reggie Wayne. So I was living out there. You know, my now wife, you know, is from Indiana. I was just out there and everything like that, trying to figure out, you know, what I'm going to do. And I have custody of my son. So I was like, you know, I got to get something going on here. You know, I got money, but, you know, what am I going to do, though? So I was like, you know, let's just do it. And then the God honest truth, like, it was a lot of prayer. And then it just came to me like something to be in the culture, but not really change the game, but put my own stamp onto it and just be different. Well, you didn't get that. Shut up, Mike. So anyway, yeah, you know, I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do, and then it just came to me through a lot of prayer. And it was like, you know, why don't we just do something, you know, like custom laces, do something in the accessory aspect. So I came up with the design, you know, of trying to do different, like, you know, like the elephant print, different colors, like the red elephant print. And actually at the time, and the idea came from is, what is it? It was the red Spizikes. It was the Toro Bravo, like red University red Spizikes that came out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was 2009, I believe. I believe it was 2009 or 2010. That was actually one of the first ideas. And I was like, man, with some red elephant print laces to go with these, that would be crazy. And then so it just transcended from then, you know, doing a lot of homework, research, training about trying to, you know, make our own laces and whatnot, building a team. So it actually took about 18 months because I established a brand in 2009, but we didn't launch until 2010. So, wow. Yeah, so it was literally like, you know, going through the training, research, funding, you know, just a lot of like behind the scenes type stuff just to get into the game or establish the brand. And then I ain't never looked back since. Like all the creations that you can see on our website, like we designed on our own basically, and we create and make all our laces in-house.
Wow, that's insane. I mean, I couldn't even imagine what that process looks like or what that even entails. I mean, it literally, you know, from you know, being from the outside looking in, it kind of just, you don't even appreciate what effort goes into, one, establishing a brand, two, getting the word out, three, making everything in home to where you're lowering your cost because you don't have to, you know, get all of that, you know, accessed out. You can actually do all that in. That drops the bottom. I can't even imagine how you did that, and to know you and to see what your brand does. I mean, that is incredible of where you're at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's insane. So once you got it up and started, how did you kind of get in the name out? Was that all through Instagram or how did that happen?
Really? Well, Instagram just kicked off. Like, it was like Adam and Eve days when Instagram just jumped off. So it was like, it's like when I started the brand, like Instagram just started, basically, Facebook. Before then, it was Facebook though. Facebook, Twitter, and then Instagram jumped off, and then I got into Instagram, and then now recently, within the past year, it's been YouTube. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So on your YouTube channel, I know you do like a lot of reviews. How is that going for you? I mean, are you getting a good response through the YouTube, or how is that working out for business?
It's been back and forth, like with YouTube, because I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm still trying to figure it out because I've never been big about being in front of the camera. The only time I've been in front of the camera is like with teammates, but by myself, you know, like I'm an introvert, you know, basically all my life introvert. But basketball is like, you know, I'm just a different type of guy. And then also as well, like me and you know each other, but like in the beginning of knowing each other, if I don't know somebody, and I mean that's just the way that I am, and once again, it's just where I'm from. You know, like if you don't know somebody, you don't really speak to somebody like that, or you don't really like, you stay like to yourself a little bit, because it's like, I don't know you. So it's like, I'm not telling you, or I'm not being like, hey, how you doing? And, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I've never been big in front of the camera like that, like by myself. But, I mean, you know, it's been a transition about, you know, getting in front of the camera, getting used to it, not seeming like I'm talking to myself when I had the camera in front of me and whatnot. So, it's been a transition in that aspect, and it's been really good. But as far as feedback, I mean, the feedback has been good. The channel has been growing, you know, pretty much. And it's just I guess it's all about consistency and whatnot, you know, so I'm trying to get better with that, about the consistency with, you know, with YouTube or whatever. But that's just another outlet, you know, that I'm trying to, you know, build for the brand. So.
Very cool. Now, how many subscribers do you have right now? Where are your current numbers at?
70. I know it's 700 for sure.
Okay. So if anybody that's watching that wants to subscribe, what is it under? Is it just under Sneakerhead Clothing Line, or what is it?
Yeah, it's Sneakerheads Clothing Line. So it's / it's youtube.com/Sneakerheads Clothing Line. So.
Okay, cool. So everybody, if you're into YouTube and you like doing that, make sure you check that out. I know I'm subscribed. I always kind of check it out. You know, I'm not big into YouTubes, but I support people that I know are doing good stuff, and I support people I know. And you know, who when you accept me, I accept you. We ain't got no problem. So that's awesome. So now here's a big question that I wanted to ask you. It seems like where you're at in business, you have to kind of be a step ahead. The moment you hear that something new is coming out, or we've got a new design or something, does that kind of start your mind where you're like, okay, cool, we got to set this up because in August we got this coming out. We can hook these two things up. Like, I know, for instance, right now, elephant print, it's elephant season. We all know that. Jumpman Jordan has been kind of gearing us up for this last year, because they started releasing like the Spizikes again, and you got that black cement colorway, white cement colorway. They've been kind of throwing it on to some stuff. Other brands like Rastaclot has been, you know, they've been like kind of getting ready for the elephant print. I know you got your laces. So that's just kind of an example, but like, is that kind of how you always have to be watching what is the next step, so that way we can be ready with those accessories and everything to hook it up with? Is that kind of how that works, or can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's basically the blueprint. You know, it's all about trying to stay ahead of the curve, and then also as well, just trying to stay ahead of the curve, but then also as well, I want the brand to be like, we don't want to look like everybody else. I mean, there's not that many brands that do the same thing we do, first of all. And in all honesty, there's only like us and like, I'll say 2 other brands. Normally I say 1, but there's like 2 other brands that actually make their own stuff, like in-house make their own stuff. Other brands, they buy it from overseas, like bootleg Chinese type stuff or whatever, and then they just stamp their name on it. So they're not really making it, you know, whatever. Yeah. But what makes us different, and what I try to consistently make us different about, is that we'll come out with something, but let's make it a little bit different, or let's change it up so we don't look like everybody else. Even, like I said, even though it's not that many brands. And then also as well, we consistently come out with a new design every month.
Of laces?
Yeah, we come out with a new design every month.
Wow. So what was this month's new thing? Has it come out yet, or what do we got?
Yeah, for this month, we actually are coming out with actually a purple colorway and leather. And then also as well, we're getting ready for February. So right now, that's what we're about to drop in 2 weeks.